The year is 2024. The United States, on the cusp of a pivotal presidential election, finds itself staring into a political abyss. President Joe Biden has yet to announce his intentions for re-election. The nation remains in suspense as speculation runs rampant. The Democrats face a challenge of unprecedented proportions. The Democratic National Convention unfolds with heightened anticipation. What was supposed to be a coronation now teeters on the edge of uncertainty. The nation holds its breath, wondering what the future holds for the Democratic Party. With Biden out of the picture, the Democratic Party is left scrambling to find a viable replacement. Two paths emerge: a virtual vote in early August or a contested convention. The virtual vote, a product of the pandemic era, offers a swift resolution. Party leaders, eager to avoid a protracted and divisive primary, see it as the most efficient way forward. However, the specter of an open convention looms large. This traditional yet often chaotic method of selecting a nominee evokes images of smoke-filled rooms and backroom deals. Delegates representing the will of their respective states would descend upon the convention city, their votes holding the key to the nomination. The possibility of an open convention injects a dose of unpredictability into an already volatile situation. Would the party coalesce around a single candidate, preserving a semblance of unity? Or would the convention devolve into a bitter battle, leaving the Democrats fractured and vulnerable heading into the general election? At the heart of this political drama lie the delegates, the men and women entrusted with the responsibility of selecting the Democratic nominee. These individuals, representing all 50 states and U.S. territories, will converge on the convention, their votes carrying the weight of the nation's future. There are two types of delegates: pledged and superdelegates. Pledged delegates, bound by the results of their state's primaries and caucuses, are obligated to vote for the candidate chosen by their constituents. Superdelegates, comprised of party leaders and elected officials, wield considerable influence. Unlike their pledged counterparts, superdelegates are free to support any candidate, adding an element of uncertainty to the process. The role of delegates becomes even more critical in an open convention scenario. With no clear frontrunner, the outcome hinges on their ability to forge consensus. The nation watches with bated breath, wondering if these individuals, thrust into the spotlight, will rise to the occasion and choose a candidate capable of uniting the party and defeating the Republican nominee. Section 4. The Specter of 1968. The looming possibility of a contested convention evokes memories of the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. The nation, already reeling from the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy, watched in horror as the convention descended into chaos. Anti-war protests outside turned violent, while inside, a deeply divided party struggled to find common ground. The events of 1968 serve as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of a fractured party. The need for a unified front has never been greater. Section 5. The stakes: unity versus chaos. As the Democratic Party grapples with the fallout of Biden's unexpected announcement, one thing remains clear: the stakes have never been higher. The outcome of the 2024 presidential election will have far-reaching consequences not only for the United States, but also for the world. The Democratic Party, traditionally a champion of progressive values and a voice for the marginalized, faces a crossroads. A united Democratic Party, energized by a compelling candidate and a clear message, stands a fighting chance of defeating the Republican nominee. However, a fractured party, consumed by infighting and burdened by the baggage of a contentious convention, risks handing the election to the Republicans. The choice before the Democratic Party is stark unity or chaos. The path they choose will determine not only their own fate, but also the future of the nation. The world watches, waiting to see if the American experiment in democracy will endure or succumb to the forces of division and despair.